So now we're going to get into retopologizing. Just like when we retopologize this nose piece, it's the exact same process. You're basically just rebuilding a low-res envelope shape that you're going to use as your game res based on your high-res surfaces. Now, there's two things I did here. Number one, if I go to Save As and we put this just on our desktop as a test 01, and then we go look at that, if I go back in here to Save As, you're going to see this is 737,000 meg. Now, there is some Z plugins you can download. One of them is Clean Tool Master. You can just get that from the Pixelogic website. And once you install this, and of course you can find the installation instructions on my YouTube channel, you're going to see in here there's subtool cleaning and decreasing ZTool file size. And another thing you can do that's fairly simple is you can just go down here to Merge Visible, and it's going to put a merged object under here. Now, if I was just to save this here as test02, you're going to see it dropped it from 737 meg down to 150 meg. Now, of course, this isn't really that great for every single piece in here. Like these ones in here, I lost my dynamic subdivisions here, and on my teeth, I'd have to go back through and maybe separate these things out. So I hold down Control-Shift-A, and then do a split hidden. The good news is it's fairly easy to go through and just even manually go through and break these things back down. So if I want the upper teeth all by themselves, Control-Shift-A, split hidden. And then if I want to get my subdivisions back, just go to Geometry, Reconstruct. That'll reconstruct back my subdivision history, and then Alt-tap the lower teeth, reconstruct, and I'm good back to normal. And then as I'm working, I'll go ahead and select this head, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off these teeth. So as I'm working my way through this object, I can go, okay, you know what? All these pieces are going to be together. So for example, I can grab the top of this cranium here, Control-Shift-A, go back to select rectangle, Control-Shift-Drag, and you know what? Even that piece right there, I'm going to have separated out, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But basically, here's the cranium, so I'm going to do a quick split hidden. And now I've got this jaw here. And if I look at the polyframes, you're going to see this is just a really dense Z or Dynamesh right here, but these are just Z-modeled nice low poly meshes. So I like to keep my nice low poly meshes separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these, Control-Shift-A, Control-Shift-Alt, and we just need to grab little pieces of them really. And then Control-Shift-Drag, Control-Shift-A again, select Rect, and now, you know what, I should have had X symmetry turned on while I did that. Another alternative you could do is just go in here to select rectangle. You can isolate just the jawbone, then do Control-Shift-A, Control-Shift-Drag, and then just do a split hidden. And now you've got these component pieces. So I can go ahead and take this dot, or this little button right there, go ahead and split hidden into its own subtool. And then back up to the skull here. I can kind of do the same thing probably with the high-res versions of this skull. I can go through and just select these massive polygroups right here. Control-Shift-Drag, Control-Shift-A. But in this case, he's enough pieces to where it might be easier to do the opposite. I'm going to go through here. I'm going to grab these little hinge pieces, or at least a bit of them. And then these rebuilt ones in here, these are easy to keep. Just kind of keep these nice low-res pieces that I don't have to like Z-remesh or anything. Control-Shift-Drag, Control-Shift-A. And if I accidentally grabbed a piece that shouldn't be in here, I just Control-Shift-Alt. Then I'll go ahead and say split hidden. Go back to the skull here. Oops, looks like I needed to grab a piece here. Go ahead and split those out. And it's easy enough just to take these ones here and then do my hotkey for merge down, which is Control-E. Now all I have left is the eyeballs. Again, this one might be easier just to Control-Shift-Tap. And I don't have to grab everything. I just need to grab enough of the pieces here. And then do Control-Shift-A, Control-Shift-Drag to make sure I grabbed everything. Looks great. Go ahead and split hidden. Now I got the eyes in their own place. Let's go ahead and turn off polyframe here. So merging everything together, I'm able to kind of simplify my object. And again, if I go in here to save as, and we'll just save over this test 2 here, you're going to see I'm still fairly reduced. I see test 1 is 737 meg, test 2 is 142 meg. So again, we're still nice and reduced. And then all I need to do is go back through here, say on this piece, there is one piece in here that's a little high res. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to dump that out of there, split hidden. But then on this one, I just need to reactivate. Let's go ahead and pop this piece out as well. And we'll go ahead and pop this piece. But these pieces in here, we can go ahead and say, you know what, I didn't lose my creasing, but I did lose like my crease level of 3, smooth subdiv of 4, whatever I had that at, probably crease level of 2, smooth subdiv of 3, something like that. So we can get our dynamic subdivisions back. Look, I missed some creasing on that one. Just run a crease tolerance right there, will be fine. And then for these little jaw pieces over here, I can hold down Shift, bent down arrow, Shift, bent down arrow, move those both to the bottom, merge those together. Go ahead and hit D for dynamic. And we'll do crease level of 2, smooth subdiv of 3, and we're kind of back to where we started. So we got nice, dynamically subdivided things. Same thing for the eyeballs. We'll do crease level of 2, smooth subdiv of 3, and we're back where we started. Now, if you wanted to break this into its component shapes, you can. And remember, we broke these things out, so these are actually completely separate pieces. So if you wanted these pieces in their own subtools, I mean, feel free to do that. It's pretty easy to break them back apart. But in this case, I think I'll just go ahead and leave them as they are.